Price of Bitcoin sliding since hitting an all-time high last week. The cryptocurrency dipping below $61,000 earlier today. It was right, Becky. It never did, I don't think, go under 60 at this point. Doesn't mean it won't. Joining us to talk more about the crypto market, Diogo Monica, co-founder of crypto platform Anchorage Digital. As of today, he's a general partner at Haun Ventures, and he's transitioning from president to chairman of Anchorage. And for people who don't know, Diogo is the Portuguese version of Diego, which may or may not be the Spanish version of James.
Right, that's right. And the way that I describe it is Diego is the Spanish version of Diogo.
Of Diogo, that came first. Yeah, the Portugal is better.
Right.
Do you know what it means, though? The Spanish origin means supplanter, which is pretty
exactly
perfect
yeah.
during your profession.
We have seen stuff happen with Bitcoin that, if you're not ready, if you don't have a firm conviction, there are times it just shakes anyone who's holding one just to the core. It goes, last time it went to 65, it went to, next thing you knew it was 17. Went to 20, next thing you knew it was 2, something like that. So this is probably not surprising that we were at, what is your high? About 74? Where were we last week? It was around 74,000. Right. All right, so immediately we were down as low as under 61. That's a big haircut. Why? I thought that that everybody's holding them, so the ETFs that are buying them can't get any. There's no supply. The halving's coming. How can it move down, whatever that is, that huge percentage move?
Look, the reality is, if you told me a year ago that we were going to have a correction down to 63,000, I would have been ecstatic. That would have been a fantastic price for us. Yes, the ETFs have had a big impact on the price appreciation in twofold. The first one is the fact, of course, that if you make something easier to buy, there will be more demand, and more demand than supply means prices go up. But the most important point here is actually what the ETF for Bitcoin being approved meant. It actually means that regulators can't stand in the way of legitimate products and financial products forever. So what we're going to see, and what the market is actually counting on, is definitely a set of new crypto products that will come to market soon. Ethereum ETFs, Solana ETFs, many of these other crypto products that I'm sure are coming to market. So it's really this starting gun, that's what is happening, and not really just a Bitcoin ETF on its own.
One of our frequent guests who's been pretty good in a lot of different areas, Tom Lee, said that the institutional adoption and just the overall adoption has been much faster than he thought.
That's absolutely right. One of the things that was necessary for a Bitcoin ETF to be approved in the first place was that we needed all of the infrastructure that was at the same level of quality and reliability as the infrastructure from traditional finance is for traditional ETFs. And that's what we've got. We've got that with companies like Anchorage Digital, which is still the only federally chartered bank in the US, and now actually has over $50 billion in assets under custody. This is a big player in the market with an OCC chartered bank that is helping institutions custody, buy and sell, and stake their assets.
We've had people come on and say last time when Bitcoin hits a new high, it does X in the next month. We've had people come on and say, after a halving, which we saw a couple of years ago, Bitcoin does Y over the next couple of months. What do you expect? When's the halving? Next month? Is it April?
Yeah, it's going to be around next month. The most exciting thing about joining Haun Ventures as a general partner is that I'm a venture investor, and venture investors are not hedge funds. The time horizon for us is really 7 to 10 years. And so, yes, we have liquid positions of tokens, but we also invest in equity, and we really take a very long-term view to the market, which, to your prior question, really is the only way to keep sanity in a market with this level of volatility that is baked in.
Sometimes people use a stock-to-flow model to try to value Bitcoin, and they compare it to gold. When you do have a halving, you're going to have half as much over that next year to base your stock-to-flow on. I mean, just by math, if it was worth X, it should be worth 2X.
Yes, assuming that, of course, I think the criticism is the other side is it is already baked in. Bitcoin is not like gold. Gold is actually pretty steady in terms of the percentage of inflation on a yearly basis, and maybe we shouldn't call it inflation, new gold that is actually dug from the ground. Bitcoin is programmatic and algorithmic. That we know exactly what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, when the halving will happen. So it's very easy to predict what is the total supply, which will never pass 21 million.
So with gold, when prices go up, more people can try and find more. So it's not, you can't count on exactly what the fixed rate of production per year is. That changes. With Bitcoin, it can't change.
That is correct. And gold has been pretty steady, but Bitcoin is cryptographic and it is code.
It is code and it's mathematics. All that taken into consideration can still be either worth, at any given time, be worth 17,000 or 65,000, or 75,000. What do you? I know you're talking 7 to 10 years, but can it go back to 40,000? Will it go back to 40,000?
The exciting part about being a venture investor is that you're looking at investments that have to be able to 10x at least. That is to be
10x.
10x
But
from
could
here.
it go back to 40?
Could it go to 40?
I think volatility is Big 10. Yes, it could back to 40. It could go higher.
That's
short
the
term.
less exciting part of it?
It's not less exciting. It's just part of it. I've been in this space for almost 10 years, and I started with my co-founder, this company, Anchorage Digital, 7 years ago. And so we have seen 5+ cycles. It has always been this way. At this point, it is just a lot easier to go through a bear market. And in fact, the bear markets are actually the better times to build because there's a lot less attention in the ecosystem, and you're actually building the technology, and you're not just talking about the price action.
But there will be waves and, I guess, tides that come in. I was just reading about how there was actual outflows for the first time in some of these Bitcoin ETFs.
That's right. And the price actually is very convenient to bring attention to the space. And every time you bring attention to the space, what you realize is that more people join. And more importantly, more developers, more entrepreneurs, more engineers start building in the space. And those don't go away when the market eventually corrects and when the price comes down. And they will stay and they will build new products and new companies. And that's actually what I'm the most excited about as general partner at Haun Ventures, is to invest in this new wave of entrepreneurs.